So why do so many high-level Scientologists have major breakdowns, even to the point of causing themselves not to exist in the three-dimensional plane that we're all trapped in? Well, the reason is because of the invention of the idea of body thetans. And body thetans are not regular thetans, and they're only known to 5 to 10% of Scientologists who are privy to this information. To the average Scientologist, a thetan is what you really are. It's your soul. It's the eternal nature of you. You'll notice with cults a lot of times what they do is they create different vocabulary for things where we already have a word. Like we already have the word soul. Scientology decides to call it a thetan. It's basically the same thing, except it's Scientology, so it's bound to be slightly crazier. But when you get to the higher levels of Scientology, past OT3, from what I've heard, obviously I haven't gotten there, but we all know it, the information is public, you find out that you are infested with these alien souls that the evil intergalactic warlord Xenu brought to Earth, and it's a long story. Refer to South Park for more detailed information on this event. But now you have all of these body thetans attached to your body. And imagine anybody insane that thinks bugs are crawling all over them and they are going berserk. I actually have seen it myself in an emergency room. And what happens is that the person freaks out. And the thing is, Scientology is kind of telling you the same thing. You have not just insects crawling all over your body, you have interdimensional evil space demons called body thetans in Scientology, and you need to get rid of them. So you go through a lot of hocus pocus, and you telepathically find these demons and you tell them to leave now. And they leave. And then after months, years, decades, whatever the case may be, I cleared my body thetans, they're gone. And when then you proceed to the next level and they tell you, oh no, you didn't. You have a whole new set of body thetans, except these ones are on drugs. And so now you have to telepathically go through your body, locate these interdimensional drugged up space demons that are attached to you that are ruining your entire life, and tell them to leave, please leave. And they do. But sometimes you don't get all of them. Sometimes you might feel like some of them came back. But finally you go through years and years of this, and if you haven't gone insane, and if you haven't done something terminal about that insanity that is raging in your mind and your emotions, then you clear the drugged out interdimensional space demons, and what happens next? Well, next you find that there are others that have hidden themselves through the very deceptive but brilliant strategy of forming clusters. Now, you'd think the clusters would be easier to find than the individuals, but for some reason, well, maybe you weren't looking for clusters. And so now you have to get in there, break up those clusters, get rid of those. So you're sitting there freaking out for years, most of the time, depending on your finances, to get rid of these interdimensional demonic space cootie demon whatevers, body thetans. And then you find out, oh, they're all around me in the environment. I got to clear the ones around me. And then you find out that, remember all those past lives that we dug up in your previous Scientology auditing? Remember this whole identity that we figured out that is your identity? Remember that whole thing? Remember all those years of auditing and hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars paid to Scientology? Yeah. All that stuff, that's not really you. All those past lives, those weren't really your past lives. Those were your body Thetan's past lives that you thought were yours. Those were the demon's past lives. That's not you. Now you know none of that was you. Now you know who you are not. So now that you know who you are not, get ready for the next level of Scientology where you actually find out who you are. Oh, but there's a problem. There is no next level of Scientology. It was never written. David Miscavige has been claiming for decades that he is holding back these levels until you dirty, nasty Scientologists become worthy of the wisdom of the next level of the bridge to total freedom, where you're going to get superpowers, you're going to be able to fly, you're going to be immortal, you're going to be a ruler of the universe, whatever the hell they promise. But the thing is, there are no new levels. Hubbard died. They were never written. And so everybody gets to the end of, well, now you know who you're not. Now you're going to find out who you are. Oh shit, there are no classes to find out who I am. So now what do I do? And that's the process of going batshit crazy in Scientology. But it's only reserved for the top 5 to 10%, maybe even less, of all Scientologists. So it's a very elite group. And maybe someday, if you play your cards right, you'll make it to that level.